another edition of the I Prefer the 80s and 90s Sports podcast or editorial as to why I, Richard Harris Jr., prefer the sports of the 80s and 90s to the sports of today. Today's topic, baseball. If you are a true baseball fan, there are 5 days in a year that you look forward to. And they're not the 5 days that you think. 5 days that you look forward to are Opening Day, Memorial Day, 4th of July, first game of the World Series. Now I skipped the 5th day because the 5th day you look forward to is today, Labor Day. A day in America where people are given the day off and appreciation for their tireless work they've done the whole year. Growing up in New York, Labor Day meant the end of summer because it meant school was starting. For some reason out here on the West Coast, school starts in July, starts in August, during the hottest time of the year, which makes absolutely zero sense because the last thing you want to do is encase kids in the classrooms during the hottest times of the year and have kids go to school for almost 11 months. I digress. But Labor Day is a highlight day because essentially with Labor Day, Memorial Day, 4th of July, Opening Day, first day of the World Series are days where baseball is supposed to be king. When I was a kid in the 80s and 90s, those 5 days, 2 things happened. 3 things happened. Number 1 thing, Opening Day, I was either in front of a television, in front of a radio, heard the game. Second thing, not only did I hear the game, was barbecue part of the game, was a time to sit back and reflect. And the third thing that happened on those days, it was a day as a baseball fan, I could sit back and appreciate my sport because it's my love. But for some reason, Major League Baseball doesn't make every team play on Memorial Day, on Labor Day, or the 4th of July. For some reason, instead of sitting back in my chair, as I did as a child, as I did as a college-age kid, as I did as a teenager, as I did as a young adult, and close my eyes as an airplane flies over, because I used to fly over Shea Stadium all the time, and listen to Bob Murphy and Ralph Kiner do baseball games. I sit back and close my eyes and listen to Vin Scully do baseball games, the national game of the week. And on a day like today, we miss those days. A day like today, we should all be sitting at home who are baseball fans and not looking up and down the dial to find out if our team is playing today, when our team is playing today. The sports world, in a lot of ways, and in some sports, has lost its way or forgets sometimes that important thing. I credit the NBA today because the NBA says, okay, opening day's Halloween night, we'll put these great games on. Veterans Day, we'll put these games on. Thanksgiving, we know it's a football day, but we'll put a basketball game on it too. Christmas, we'll put a whole bunch of games featuring our best players on that day. They even played last year New Year's Eve a bunch of games. They play on Easter. They play on MLK Day. They make sure that their fan base knows and how to capitalize on the days in which they should be king. The NFL. The NFL usually opens this week, and it does this week. It opens on the 7th. But the NFL has Thanksgiving Day. Halloween, they play football games if it happens on a Sunday, a Monday, or a Thursday. And they try to make it their day. In fact, the NFL's taking it to a level where they say, remember back in the day, it would just be the Lions versus the Bears, the Cowboys versus the Redskins. NFL said, we're going to go West Coast style on y'all. We're going to say, because we know on the West Coast, the games start at 10. There's a middle game at 1. And why not have a game at 5? Because not everybody eats at the same time across the country. And then college football said, you know what, NFL? We're going to one-up you. We're going to put a rivalry game on Thanksgiving Day because across America, there are high school football games that are rivalry games played on Thanksgiving Day. Because families play football against each other on Thanksgiving Day. And so college football said, we're going to do that too. We're going to put Mississippi versus Mississippi State, call it the Egg Bowl, and they're going to play on the cold Thanksgiving evening. And we're going to start it at 4 o'clock. So the NFL can start at 5. We're going to give you an hour of college football before you get into the NFL. And then the next day, we're going to put another rivalry game on. We're going to keep the rivalry stuff going because we're going to call it Rivalry Week. We're going to start with Thanksgiving and take it all the way through the weekend, through next week. So it saddens me that on a day like today, that's a day supposed to be a day of rest, that I, because of the stupid ESPN Spectrum fight, I don't have baseball on ESPN like we used to have as a child because they got tennis on. Now, back in the day, back in the 80s and 90s, tennis was on CBS. Not a pay channel. It was on CBS. So the whole country could watch round of 16 tennis today. I get to sit here in my home, and luckily I have MLB Network. Luckily I have an illegal stream service. Okay, I'm lying about that. Not. Where I can find baseball games and watch them. But guess what? My team's not playing. The New York Mets not playing. The New York Yankees not playing. The Los Angeles Dodgers not playing. How can the 3 teams in the biggest market not be playing on Labor Day? Now, the Angels are playing tonight against Baltimore. Okay, we'll watch that. But if I didn't have MLB Network, All I would have today for baseball is the Angels. Because I don't have tennis either. ESPN tonight has a football game. Clemson versus Duke. How many people in America really want to watch Clemson versus Duke? But the fact is, who cares? Because college football, again, is taking advantage of a night where the NFL is not playing Monday Night Football tonight, as it will be next Monday. College football is like, yo, let's throw a game on. As they threw one last night. They don't play on Sundays. They threw 2 college football games on yesterday. Baseball used to be America's pastime. It was the symbol. It was the game that melted in with baseball, hot dogs, apple pie, and Chevrolet. I have traditions. On Labor Day, Memorial Day, first day of baseball, 4th of July, first game of the World Series, I go to my local supermarket, buy a pack of Nathan's hot dogs, and eat hot dogs today. And I try and go get me a piece of apple pie from this wonderful pie place on Vermont here in Hollywood. Because this day was supposed to be and is an American symbol. But guess what? Football has become America's new pastime. Which is kind of sad to me. Because as you get older, you try to hold on to the past. You try to hold on to things of your childhood, things that brought good memories. And to have that taken away is bothersome. So on a day like today, where I'm supposed to be feet up, belly out, enjoying a hot dog, I'm sitting here wondering, what am I going to do? My teams ain't on today. But I guess I'll have a hot dog during the Angels game. Come on, Major League Baseball, you're better than this.